Hi you guys, how are you? My name's Sarah. This is my YouTube channel, Stitching by Sarah. This is a channel about cross stitch. If you watched my last video on December the 28th, I put it out. I had said I'm not coming back until January the 6th. I'm going back to my usual Friday recordings and uploads. But I forgot that I wanted to do a 2022 recap on all my starts and finishes. So I'm doing this a lot for me so that I can see what I started and what I finished. If you have been watching my channel, when I tell you how many starts and finishes I had, you'll be like, yeah, that's about right. I didn't finish very many things, but I had quite a few starts. I had 31 starts and I had 14 finishes. So they ought to call me the serial starter junior. If you don't know what that reference is, there's a YouTuber, a Flosstuber duo named Brenda and the Serial Starter. So I think I'm getting to be one of those serial starters, especially with my plans for January. So anyways, I have my list of all my starts and finishes. I'm going to go in chronological order. I think I'm going to blur between pieces like I did for my whip parade, just so that you don't hear all the zippers and unzippers and all that stuff. All right, so let's start it. The first project of 2022 was a start by Teresa called Land That I Love. I am stitching this on a 32 count in the pink by R&R Reproductions. I don't, let's see, what's the cross stitch store up in Tulsa? Yeah, I can't think of it right now. But when I was up there a couple months ago, I saw this in white. Absolutely loved it. So I may end up restarting this. So I haven't gotten much progress on this, but that is my progress so far. So we'll see what I decide to do with it. The next project is Monthly Markings by Heart in Hand. I am using a 14 count Twilight Dyed Effects by Fabric Flare, and that is my progress so far. I started the Kimberly Jolly of Fat Quarter Shop, her conversion, and didn't like it, so I'm basically a little bit of the called for, a little bit of Kimberly's, and a little bit of my own. So that is where it's at so far. This is my first finish of 2022. This is called Hot Cocoa is Calling by, I want to say, Cherry Hill Stitchery. The fabric is a 28 count Hot Cocoa by BeStitchMe. This chart came out of the BeStitchMe winter box last year. There was a button right there, a snowflake button, but that fell off. So I have to fix it. But that's my very first finish of the year. Next is a start. Technically it's a finish also, but not really. According to the chart it's finished, but I have to do more. So Silver Creek Samplers Michael's Prayer. It is on an 18 count, no, a 22 count fabric by BeStitchMe. It's an unnamed fabric. I believe I won in Friday Night Fight Nights. That is where it's at. That is quote unquote done, but as you can see, the white letters do not stand out very well. So I am trying to figure out what I want to do with the white letters. So that is Michael's Prayer. The next one I can't show you because it's going to be a project for somebody, but I can show you that it's a Glendon place, and the fabric is a 32 count Picture This Plus called Valor. Next is a start. It's called Her Clothing by Paula Vaughn. I started it on March the 23rd, and I actually restarted it. So this is the start. I didn't like how the stitches were laying. I was having a hard time with it. The fabric is a 28 count Picture This plus Ren. I restarted it on May the 4th, and that is using 1 strand over 2. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. I'm not liking that either, but I like it a little bit more than that one. So we'll see what I decide to do with it. Right now it's in timeout. Next is a start and a finish. This is called Only Doll Women. This is a Lizzie Kate pattern. I made it into, I believe it's called a flat fold. It sits right next to my TV in the living room. So the fabric is 32 count cream Belfast. If you notice it's a little darker right here, that is because the rest of it is 1 strand over 2, but right here I forgot and I made it 2 strands over 2. So it's just a little darker right there, but I wasn't going to take it out. You know, my cross stitch term is just screw it, it's staying. So that is Only Doll Women by Lizzie Kate. And I use my own conversion of floss. Next is another start. This is Home is Where the Wreath Is. I originally started on black 14 count chalkboard Ada, and I did not like that. So I restarted it on July the 6th using 14 count slate by BeStitchMe. That is where the H is. And this is where the M is. That's all I have started so far. Some people take projects, they call them their car projects. I should do that with this one because there's been many a times I've just been sitting around doing nothing, you know, and I could have very easily pulled that out and got some more done on it, because once you get the outline of the letter in, all you have to do is, you know, fill in. It's very easy. So that's where Home is Where the Wreath Is. Next is my first start and finish. This is called Cross Stitch Addiction by Glen Designs. I started it on April the 10th and I completed it on August the 26th. The fabric is 28 count Dusk Opalescent by BeStitchMe. And someday when I have the ambition, I'm going to make this into a bag so that I can take it back and forth to work. Next start is Psalms 145. Oops. Yeah, Psalm 145 by Little House Needlework. This was started on April the 21st. Fabric is, fabric is 25 count Mushroom Lagana. And so far I'm using the called for floss, but I don't think I have it fully kitted up with the floss yet. So I was pulling it as I was stitching. And ouch. This is the end right here. So it's actually only going to be this wide. Next is the finish. I finished this on April the 26th. This is called Crooked Crown. This is by Erica Michaels. It was originally to be stitched on a 40 count silk gauze that came with the kit, but I decided to do it with a 28 count Banshee Opalescent by BeStitchMe. My husband, no, he did not. This was just a frame that we had around the house and it fit it pretty well. And if you watch my videos, it is usually sitting right there. It's to remind me to fix another woman's crown without telling the world that it's crooked. So that's a motto that I try to follow, but there are times that it doesn't work. I'm sure you all know that. All right, next we go into May, where I did Mirabilia. Mirabilia Mondays is where I started a new Mirabilia chart. The first one was on May the 2nd. This is called Sabrina. Sabrina is being stitched on a 32 count Yuletide by BeStitchMe. And that is the progress that I have so far. She is popping on that fabric. And I am using the called for floss and beads. My next Mirabilia start was red. She was started on May the 9th. Her fabric is 28 count vintage smoky. And I am also using the called for on her. So that's my progress on her so far. And then on May the 16th, I started the Stargazer. This is a start along, stitch along with my friend Heather, the full disclosure stitcher on Instagram. This is the one that I am doing my own conversion on her dress. Fabric is 16 count witching hour by Pole Stitches. I'll get up there. I have changed her to purple, her dress, at least the bodice of the dress. My next start for Mirabilia was At the Met by Mirabilia. This was started on May the 23rd. The fabric is 28 count Stormy Gray Weichelt. And that is my, sorry for the folds, you know, I'm not good at ironing things. That is, well, she is giving me problems. That is her start so far. And she is on my whip go board because she needs more love, because I tend to do the other ones. It's not that I don't like her, it's just that I have more fun on the other ones. My next start is a stitch along with Samplers and Stitching cross stitch store here in Montgomery. It is the Jeanette Douglas mini bouquet sampler. I am very behind on this. The fabric is 40 count Dead Sea Scrolls by Seraphim Fabrics, and that is where I'm at now. So I'm doing one strand over two. I should be more than halfway done with this, but I'm not. Next is another start and finish. This is the Faith, Hope, and Love box. This chart was found in the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. I don't remember which edition. If you need to know, let me know and I'll tell you. Fabric is 16 count Opalescent by Hand Dyed by Rolanda, and I used my own conversion. I started this on June the 28th, and I completed it on December the 3rd. I have another start and finish. This is Remember by Sarah Goodman Strobel. This was in, I want to say, just Cross Stitch magazine. Again, if you need to know where I found it, just leave me a message and I'll tell you where I found the chart. The fabric is 32 count raw linen, and I used my own conversions. These are silks. This was started on June the 28th, and I finished it on August the 28th. I have another start and finish for the year. This is a part of the So Much Love chart from Sue Hillis. The fabric is a 32 count Love Potion by BeStitchMe. I started this on July the 13th, and I finished it on July the 18th. The next, I'm going to put a picture in because I don't actually have this this project. I think I showed it to you after I did it and gave it to my friend. One of my friends was having a rough time, and her husband have a little mantra. I don't remember what it says. Like, no one's in jail, no one's pregnant, no one's terminal. So I made this. I started it around August the 1st, and I finished it on August the 10th. I'm not very good. For some reason this past year, I was not very good at documenting starts and finishes, or I did not write down the fabric. So if I happen to find that, I will put that around here. Next is a class piece. I started this on September the 17th. This was part of the Kindred Spirits class with Ellen Chester of With My Needle. I am working on the pin cube. The fabric is, I believe, a 36 count linen. I have two sides. Looks like first one. This is the second one. It's almost done there. And I have another finish. This is called We Santa 2018 by Heart and Hand. The fabric is 32 count putty. And I believe I used my own conversion for his jacket. Next is a start on September the 23rd. This is called the Sampler of Stitches. Fabric is a 32 count linen. I don't know, it's an unnamed color and all that. I have A and B done. I need to, this is also a stitch along with some friends here in the local area. I need to get working on this also. Yeah, as you can see, I'm not very good with stitch alongs. So it is very pretty. Absolutely adore it. I really should be working on it. Another start is Franny Ritter's Rustic Wine Lover Santa. He is on a 32 count Legacy by Picture This Plus. That's how far he is done. And I am using all the called for floss. And there's beads. And I have another start and finish. This is called Winter White Sleigh by Fireside Originals. This is out of a magazine. Fabric is a 28 count Memory by Picture This Plus. The white is called Old Lace by Coloring Cotton. I started Winter White Sleigh on October the 2nd, and I finished him on October the 26th. Another start and finish. This is Little Cuties, part of the Little Cuties chart. I call him Little Cuties number 1. He was started on October the 3rd, and I finished him on October the 25th. Fabric is a 28 count ecru by Hand Dyed by Rolanda. And I believe I pulled my own floss for that also. Next is another Christmas ornament. If you haven't noticed, in October I did a lot of Christmas ornament stitching. I don't remember what hashtag I used. But the next one is a start. It is by Knotted Tree Needle Art, and it is called Santa's Wish List. I started this on October the 25th. The fabric is a 14 count Ale by Picture This Plus. And I think I pulled my own floss for this. The next is another start and finish. This is another one out of the Amy Brucken Little Cuties chart. I call him Little Cuties number 2. He is also stitched on 28 count ecru by Hand Dyed by Rolanda. I started him on November the 2nd, and I finished him on November the 6th. I believe that's all of my Christmas ornaments that I did for October. All right, the next two starts were, I had a class at the Silver Needle, that's the store in Tulsa. I did not have any La-Di-Da kits that I was working on, so I started a La-Di-Da chart before the class. So this is called Love Abide by Love Abide by La-Di-Da. And La-Di-Da is who taught the class, but this is not the class piece. This I started on November the 6th, and the fabric is 28 count Swank by Fortnite Fabrics. This is the actual class piece for the class with La-Di-Da in the Silver Needle. It is called Anna Marie's Pocket. Fabric is 36 count Hogbrissel by Fox and Rabbit. The letters are all done in, oh, I can never remember. I'll put it right here because I can never remember what stitch they are. So that is my progress on Anna Marie's Pocket. All right, this next chart, I don't think you have seen it at all. I did not post it here on Facebook unless you follow me on Instagram, stitching.by.sarah or Stitching by Sarah. Or if you're a part of the Stitching with the Housewives group, I did post it there. I'm going to put a picture right here. This is called Chicken Mary. I started it on November the 13th and I finished it November the 15th. I made this as a Christmas present from my friend Tina. The bottom of the chart was supposed to say Mary, but instead I placed some more snowflakes because I didn't like all it said was Mary. The fabric is 28 count Dusk Opalescent by BeStitchMe. So that is another start and finish. My next finish is my cute little biscornu that I absolutely love. This is called Fabulous Fall. This is a chart from Dinky Dyes and the Cat's Whisker. I started it in November of 21 and I finished it November 19th of 2022. Fabric is a mystery blue linen 32 count. And I used a limited edition Gentle Arts threads. Did not have a name. So this is actually supposed to be autumn colored floss, but it was my first biscornu, so I was just, seeing what I could do. I am definitely going to make more biscornus. It's just too cute. I love it to pieces. All right, we're down to all my starts in December. I did not have any finishes in December. So on December the 2nd, I started a mystery stitch along with Forbidden Fiber Co. This is called Holiday Express. Fabric is 28 count Polar by Forbidden Fiber Co. And I have been working on this. I want to get this done. So that is my progress as of now. The floss are all from Forbidden Fiber Co. and the fabric is also. So I don't know if you can see the word believe in there. We're getting there. My goal is to get this done in the next several weeks. On December the 18th, I started Cardinal Claus by Stitching with the Housewives. Fabric is a 28 count Picture This Plus Crystal Artic. And other than using cherub for perfect pie crust, all the other floss are the called for. All right, on Christmas Day, I started Lady of the Flag by Mirabilia. She is on a 32 count Weeks Dye Works Platinum. And this is just a teeny tiny little start. And she is going to be a teal conversion. And the conversion I found on the Facebook group Mirabilia Lady of the Flag. And I think it's also, actually I know it's also documented in, I think it's called Mirabilia Nora Corbett Full Conversion. It's a Facebook group also. So you can go to either of those two places to find, there are lots of conversions. There's a teal, there's a silver. I think there's a purple. I've seen them done on orange. And so check out those Facebook groups or if you're interested. So this very last start you have not seen. This was going to be my New Year's Day start, but then I started it on New Year's Eve. Actually, it's a restart. This is Starry Night After Van Gogh. And I converted the floss that they had, which was a wool acrylic. I converted it to mainly DMCs. There is 2 overdyed. This is my teeny tiny little start on Van Gogh. And the fabric is 14 count. I think it was called Antique White. So that has been my starts and my finishes for 2022. I hope you all enjoyed that. 2023, there's going to be a lot of starts. So I decided for January to do January Start Palooza. I counted out that I had 31 kitted charts, not counting Starry Night, because that was one of the kitted. So I decided, hold on to your seat, I decided to do 31 starts in January. I'm going to try to do one a day, but if it's a day that I'm working my 12-hour shift and I don't feel like starting something, I may do 2 starts on one day, but I'm going to do all 31 of these charts as Leah's stretching out. So, have I told you I'm not good at following my own plans about not starting big projects? Well, there are several large projects that are kitted down there to be started. It's, I can't follow my own plans. So I hope you all are doing well, and I will see you all on Friday. Bye, guys.